Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Trinity podcast, episode 34, without KG.
Explosion! Kablam!
Got shit neck. Can't move. Boom. Boom. This is live. Shout out Lil Yo-Yo. Can see you there right now. Shout out Joe Blackman,
Hey,
Steffi Jenks.
you know, with your neck, have you heard what the streets have been saying, Flex? Have you heard what they've been saying? Your neck, your back, Eric Ten Hag is on crack.
Jesus Christ. Have you just made that up now? Is that what?
Yeah.
Just made it up.
It works.
Bad.
It works, doesn't it? No, that works. That works. Your neck, your back, Eric Ten Hag's on crack.
And I can't, because my neck's hurting, I don't want to laugh too much. It's going to make me move. Honestly.
Get it trending.
Do not get that trending.
Remix it.
Do not get that trending. Honestly. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Remix.
Episode 34. My neck is fucked up, brother. Like, I'm trying to look down at the screen, yeah? Like, so it's like the normal level, which would be like this, but I've got to kind of raise it a little bit just to alleviate a bit. So if you lot see me looking like that, where you're basically looking at my nostrils, I apologize. I can't look down. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's got to be slightly raised. Yeah, so I'm going to do the show
saying,
like this.
This morning, they were saying neckology, not flechnology, neckology.
Now, did you make that one up as well on the spot?
I did not make that one. I saw that this morning. That's genuine.
That's good.
That's why it's not. That's why it's not as good as your neck, your back. Eric Ten Hag's on crack.
What's worse about that one is that you think it's proper funny.
It is funny.
Oh wait! Oh, getting too hot. Oh, need to turn this on. It's fucking. I'm proper old and crippled. I feel like I'm in a net brace all day. Bro, how you feeling?
And there is flechnology. Look at that. Look at that freeze frame. There you go. And he's back.
Just
this
control 34. Me.
This episode 34 is going to be a strong one. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing okay.
Yes.
I got a haircut earlier today.
Yeah, I can see. It's really good.
I sat in the barber's for an hour waiting to get a chair, which I really enjoyed.
Not an hour getting the haircut.
No, just waiting. Yeah. It was fine. Oh, Flex.
Yeah.
Devastated. This got nothing to do with football. I mean, fuck this show. But I mean, and I tell you what, this is a gut punch. This is a real gut punch. And people might out there have experienced this, yeah. I can't take the mick out of KG anymore. I can't do it.
What, are you going bald?
I was in the chair earlier on, right?
Yeah.
And he's, the true test of how your hair is standing up, I think, as a man, is when they start doing the spray, right? And your hair gets very, very wet, right? And I did not pass that test. I failed. You know what he said, right? And grammatically it makes no sense, but it hurts even more. He went, getting lesser.
Oh, really?
He went, getting lesser. And I just went, yeah, I know.
Getting
I was
lesser.
like, I was in half a mind when he said that, and I went, should we just then get rid? Like, what do we do? What do we do with this? Like, you know what I mean?
It's not a get rid job. Yeah, definitely.
But he was saying, like, and I'm not going to show, but he was basically like, he's like, Frank
you're on.
Lampard,
Frank
Lampard's got the sort of the thin in nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, that's it. Join the club. That's it. You just got to embrace the years you got left. Similar for me. I mean, I'm on my way to wing backs, full backs, left wing back, right wing back. But when I get a trim and get a fade, it's not too bad. But if I let my hair grow past a certain length,
it's getting lesser though. He just went. This was deep into the haircut as well. This wasn't at the beginning. This was deep in.
He's like,
this was deep. This was deep. And he went getting lesser.
Yeah. Well, you just take it on the chin, mate. Embrace, bro. Embrace.
That's what KG did. He said, like, look, when he was younger, and he was younger. He was like, said he was like 18 or something like that. He went, let's go, and he would get rid. Start now. I thought about it. Well, not bold, but I thought just
shorter.
Do we go shorter on? Yeah, I thought about it, but it did not happen. But it's coming.
Yeah, well,
it's coming.
We shall embrace.
Yeah, we shall see.
United view, Turkey view. We're going to all go to Turkey.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if a Trinity episode we showed up and we just had like full on?
Yeah. I mean, and it's different variations. Obviously, you get in They have a look at Owen, go, youngest out of the lot. Say, yeah, we could work with that. They go Fleck, a couple wing backs. All right, tell you what. They go KG.
KG. It would be brilliant if he just came back and he had full head of hair.
It'd be amazing.
Andros Townsend settings, Rob Holding.
Yeah, well, actually, it's true though. To be fair, you can
Yeah.
go from Andros Townsend setting to full on. Like,
it's the best one.
High tops. So.
Andros Townsend is the best, I think, comeback ever when it comes to that. That is
100%.
That is the best.
Yeah, because Holding was good, Gabriel was good, Rooney was good.
Gabriel was good.
No one beats.
Yeah, Rooney's one still is a bit iffy now. You know what I mean?
Because he doesn't care now. But at the time when he cared, when he got it done.
Yeah. The Andros Townsend one is the best one.
It's the best one because it's a full, thick afro high top from nothing.
Well, nothing. It's incredible.
So, welcome to Hairview, but Trinity View, Trinity podcast sponsored by bloody Just for Men.
Yeah,
Miracle Grow
by Rogaine.
Rogaine,
yeah.
But yeah, I've there's been a few people. Do you know what I will say? There's been a few people online, which I'll probably. Do you know what? I'm going to do a Flex's View tomorrow. I'll go probably a bit deeper into this, but they have annoyed me just because I've changed my mind on where I'm at. There's some people just chatting shit in my mentions, and it just annoys me.
Oh yeah,
like, oh, you're just trying to be negative, or what the fuck, like, mate. And then they say, don't get confused in like, where the manager is. Flex, don't get clouded. I'm not clouded, mate. I've just seen the light. Like, there's nowhere to go. Like,
I was having a similar conversation with someone on social media, X, the other day, and X. Oh, I know. I'm going to focus on football because I could really venture off again. But it's an interesting topic because I've seen and I know you have, the reaction of, well, if you're not going to support the manager or back this team, then go and support another club, you bloody so-and-so. And I don't think there is a sort of blanket way of sort of support, really, if that makes sense, I, myself, am a Manchester United fan. I want Manchester United to win. I hope they win every game that I see and I watch. And even if I'm not watching, I hope they win. And I found out that they win later on in the day, one of those. But I don't think that means you can't come out and voice your opinion if you don't think things are going very well. I don't think that's off limits. I think that's perfectly a normal part of fandom, isn't it? Of going, yeah, I don't really like this, or I don't really like that. I don't really like that decision. I like this, but I don't like that. I don't think we as Man United fans, we belong to the Manchester United tribe, and we have an element of blind loyalty, especially when you're going up against the ops or an opposition fan, and you back them with chest.
And I don't really mind that sometimes.
But once you're amongst, your own clan, once you're all together, you can be a bit more open and honest with each other. Go, actually, I know if it's like a Liverpool fan telling us we're shit, we're like, nah, piss off. We're not shit or whatever. But once you're together with your own, you can go, we ain't very good, And I don't think that makes you any less.
Say here, where are you going to say it?
Exactly. I don't think that makes you any less of a fan or anything like that. And also, we've always done this here on the channel. Is there's a line of respect, isn't there? I respect Erik ten Hag as a coach. I respect him as a person, as an individual. I wouldn't be one of those that's like, you bold so-and-so or you Dutch, blah, blah, blah. Like there's just no need, is there?
You have to insult him. Just
exactly. You just say, I don't think it's working out, Eric. So I don't think that makes you any less of a fan. And I mentioned before, I just don't understand the sort of. I think this is born out of just sort of real. Not hatred, but real frustration with Player FC a couple of managers ago. With Jose, it was like Player FC 1. That's what happened there.
That was fully like, no, I am not backing.
And it was Player.
You.
Yeah, exactly. And that Player FC 1. And I think out of that has spawned like just the complete opposite, which is Manager FC. And now it's almost like it has gone so far in the other direction where it is like, no, this is, whilst I'm not saying 40 is acceptable, but this manager, he is the right guy till the very, very, very end. I will back him. And like I said, it's gone so far in the other direction that the middle ground's kind of been lost.
Loyalty. Yeah, that is just a blind loyalty. And the truth is, like, I know it's a cliche, but it's Man United FC. That's it. It's Man United FC. So really, any decision that we're trying to take up as fans or opinion we're trying to form, whether it be emotionally, psychologically, so you can see what's going on, with your head or your heart, whatever decision you come to, you should be making it out of what's best for the club.
Yeah.
Like I want him to. I want him to leave because my favorite player Ahmad isn't playing, or you know, I want this player to leave because my favorite manager Eric Ten Hag. You know, like the Sancho thing. Like, no, you know, I'm just going with the Ten Hag because that's the manager I want to. You know, and then there's that thing of like, obviously you back your manager. The manager's the most important person at football club, kind of thing over players. So I get it, but really we need to think like, what's best for Manchester United?
There's a hierarchy, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sort of like, so this is why it's like you said with the Sancho thing. If it's player versus manager, manager should always win, in my opinion, in that kind of thing. It should never be our player wins over the manager. That's a massive problem. So manager should always win when it comes to that. But if it's club over manager, then club drops out. You know what I mean? It's like it goes player
club over anyone should win.
You know what I mean? It goes player, manager, club. You know what I mean? Like that's how it should kind of work. And we sometimes, I think, as fans get lost in that. We sort of go, no, it's player over manager, or it's player over club, or it's manager over club. And you go, no, like it's always been.
But then the reason why there is like this grey area though is because not just player FC, but if a manager mistreats players like with inconsistency or not being fair, it's like you're not doing your job properly. So I can see why player X is mad. So if we're going back to the Jadon Sancho one, because it's the easiest one to just do. Some people say
the Ronaldo one. You know,
the Ronaldo one. You know what I mean? You're bringing him on with 5 minutes to go at Spurs. You embarrass. You know, who else is better than him here? He scored 18 goals. You know, this, that, and the other. Or like, why are you not playing Ahmad? You keep going with a rubbish Anthony. If I was Ahmad, I'd be pissed off as well. Like, what is this? Like, get me out on loan. So I see where the player's coming from. Playing for this clueless guy who you know, Marcus Rashford could go to Belfast, get a one game thing, and then, you know, but you make an example out of someone else. That's where you sort of go, well, I think you're incompetent at your job, so I'm against you. Not out of like the players just above you, but just out of how you're choosing to manage, like your actual methods. I don't agree with. So, and then that's like a grey area of like player over him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's you know, you're just seeing that now, and really. You know, we've been doing this quite a long time. I know I've done it slightly longer than you in this arena, but like, you know, we've all still been fans very long times. But in terms of on social media and how this cycle goes of the manager gets sacked, then people on social media or different platforms say you can't say this, or why have you said that? You're not real. Oh, F off if you. I'm fed up with people who think this. They're the problem. I've seen it, mate. Seen it. From Van Gaal into Jose, out of Jose into Ollie, out of Ollie into Ranić / Eric, and then now like we've seen it. You know, fan channels weren't really that in the David Moyes era, really. So it wasn't really that. It really came across Van Gaal era. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed at that. Not like to the point where like, oh my god, I'm down, but just like a few. I just respond back now. I said, all right, cool, that's your opinion, but I don't care. I don't like this is my opinion.
And by the way, when it comes to it, like this is what I was saying the other day too. Like neither one of you are right and wrong. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you, in that some opinion might age better than others, and as we said the other day, it's the stock market. Time will tell. Time will tell when it comes to it. But you've got one opinion. Someone else has got the other opinion. That's fine. You don't need to attack each other. You know what I mean? You don't need to be like,
it's just stupid.
Flex, you're a prick. Why? Because you don't think Man United are good.
You sold your soul. You sold your soul because you've decided that the manager's reached his course. You've sold your soul. You're just trying to go on TalkSport just to the negative. Well, no. Now I've just, mate, because my opinion has changed. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie when I go on different things. I'm going to say how I feel.
Yeah. And also the other one where it's like, today is actually a really good example of this. So this morning, if you haven't seen the morning show, we spoke largely about injuries because there's this injury stuff at the moment. And some of the reaction to that was, do something different, do some new content. Don't talk about Eric Ten Hag. We didn't. we didn't. We did say that really, you know, the level of performances probably won't be that different because we had injuries last season. We haven't so far this season, and actually the performance has been largely the same.
Which is valid evidence.
But didn't go like, you know, Eric Ten Hag should be sacked.
He's still here
or anything like that. Talk about something else. Unfortunately, you know, as a Man United fan, you're kind of tied to what's happening. And this week has been dominated by the future, or lack thereof, of Eric Ten Hag because of all of the stuff surrounding all those meetings and whether or not they were. And then the sort of the aftermath, the epilogue of that meeting on Tuesday was actually was it really the meeting that we thought it was?
It
Was it
wasn't.
actually
The
something
answer
else?
is no.
So you had to almost reevaluate it, which then took a couple of extra days after the fact or whatever. So it did become a soap opera, but you can only react to those things in real time as they happen. I think you kind of do a bit of yourself a disservice as a United fan if you just sort of want to bury your head in the sand and sort of wait for a storm to blow over. That isn't going to blow over.
It's not there. Exactly. And if you want to do that, fine. You stay and get destroyed. That's fine.
Might not be for you if that's the case.
Don't come here then.
We've got to talk about it.
We've got to talk about it. Well, do you know what? In the name of that, actually, then let's sometimes get a bit Jurgen Fleckish. Let's discuss kind of like every other thing but Erik ten Hag, like little bits like in the squad. It could be an individual player. It could be a specific game. It could be the future. Whatever you want. It could be the coaches. It could be Ruud van Nistelrooy. Whatever he is. Yeah. And we'll just throw some things out there. And in the chat, in the comments, should I say, put some things what you would like to see us discuss, like instead of just Erik ten Hag, etc., etc. I'll start with one. Andre Onana.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Andre Onana, just as a topic, we just pick him. Has he calmed down? Has he found a level that this will be it? Or has he got better?
I don't know if he's got better necessarily. I feel like when he was making all of those mistakes at the beginning, it was around this time last year, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
around this kind of period.
It was terrible.
There was a feeling like, well, he's literally not saving anything. And they're all going in, and he's almost throwing them in, and it was almost a bit like, and people were saying, well, because he made mistakes at Ajax when he was there. I don't know if he made them as regularly at Inter Milan. He was only at Inter Milan for a season. It wasn't a huge period of time, and but the sort of the feeling was at the time of, well, he is better than this he must be better than this to an extent, right? Has he got better? I mean, has Flex frozen? That's what
I have, but it'll unfreeze in a minute. Just let it do its thing.
It's a long freeze. That's why I was like
missing thing as well. Just put me there until it fucking goes away. In fact, this one's not unfreezing, so I'm going to refresh.
I thought this one. Man, this show's been a car crash. Honestly, it's been a proper train wreck of a show.
Happened the other week.
Yeah, one of them is just going to. I mean, that's telling you, that laptop. There's smoke coming out of it at the moment.
Still going, man. I'm here, aren't I? I'm here.
There's tape holding it together. No, I was saying with Onana, there was, when that was going on, there was a general acceptance where he cannot be this bad, because how did he become a professional footballer then? If he's that bad. So
I was in the team of the year for the Champions League.
Exactly. So his level has gone up, maybe back to normal, shall we say. Yeah, I still have massive reservations. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper from a goalkeeping fundamental point of view. Like, there still have been goals that have gone in this season where you go, Andre, yeah. I'm not sure about one against Liverpool, wasn't there? I think it was Salah, the one against FC Twente, and people are like, it was near post really hard. And I actually saw, I think it was Asmir Begovic recently say, the near post thing's a myth. But I don't think, I disagree with him on that. But look, professional goalkeeper, I was only amateur. So
when you say it like that,
yeah, exactly.
I know what I'll listen to.
But still, so there's still somewhere to go. But I think he's just kind of at his baseline a little bit. I do think he deserves credit, though, in the sense that he won our Player of the Month for September, and he deserved it. It's always a massive concern when a goalkeeper's the Player of the Month.
Yeah, you don't want that,
because you don't really want those kind of accolades. It's like when De Gea was Player of the Year all those seasons. That's the issue. Not that it's like, the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper's doing their job.
Yeah, but they're doing it too much. If they're getting awards, they're doing it too much.
Exactly. They're doing it. They're doing it too often. So he has got better. Here's one for you though with Onana though. Do you think, and we talk about league titles, and I know we're way off it, and you can talk about the rest of the team, but do you think you could win a league title with an Andre Onana?
It depends. It depends how good that title winning team is. Yeah.
Could he win it with City?
Yeah.
I think he probably could, yeah.
Yeah, like he might cost them a cup. Well, I don't know though, because the margins are so fine, and like Arsenal were on them, and it went down to like the last
couple of
game
points, yeah. Or like when they were points and goal differences with Liverpool.
Yeah, you'd say it depends in what season, mate.
Yeah,
Because if he had if his bedding in period was like it was with us, it'd cost him 12 points straight away.
yeah,
And you can't do that in a title race. So
no,
it depends on the context of the season and how good the challengers were.
yeah.
I
How
know that's
close it
just
is,
a,
how tight it is. Yeah,
yeah, because on like you said, like 90, what did City Centurions?
yeah.
Was that, and then what did Liverpool get that time?
Liverpool,
98.
Liverpool didn't Liverpool. One of the Liverpool seasons, it literally ended up with I think John Stones cleared one off the line, didn't they? And I think
Yeah,
City won it by like 2 points
yeah.
or something, or like a
But
point.
Liverpool got like 98 points, didn't they? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that,
exactly,
and didn't
exactly.
win the league. So if just off that, if Onana did something stupid and made you draw at home to Bournemouth,
Mm,
you'd lose the league because that's
yeah,
how. But in seasons gone by where they've won the league easily, he absolutely could, and
mm.
he probably wouldn't be called into action as much to make the mistakes in the
Well,
first place.
okay then. So we're saying because City they are the benchmark in terms of always
Yeah,
going to be
because he
there.
can play out. If he was in a Pep team, he'd play out, right?
If he was the Arsenal goalkeeper at the
No,
moment, do you
no,
think do you
no.
think Arsenal would be a worse team if he was
Yeah.
the Arsenal
Yeah,
goalkeeper at
yeah,
the
yeah,
moment?
definitely, definitely. Like, no, I know this version of Onana that we've had for the last couple of months is all
Is
right.
better. Yeah, yeah.
It's better, but you can't hang your hat on it. Like Raya was the really dependable even at Brentford. You know what I mean? Where you knew the fundamentals is fine,
And
and
he had
then
a shaky start at Arsenal as
and
well. I was
he
not
did have a
sold.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone was saying, "Oh, I don't know." You see, you
yeah.
want to change it for Ramsdale, but also, as a goalkeeper, that's the one position whereby if you know someone's breathing down your neck and you're not the proper number one yet, or if you do start fucking up, you're out. Like you got that bedding in.
If you
You know what
wait,
I
yeah, if
mean?
you make one mistake, yeah, that can spiral into a couple very
Yeah,
quickly
easily.
across
Well,
several
it's the
games.
same when Ramsdale used to come in for games as well. He was a
Yeah,
fucking bag of nerves last year,
yeah,
even when he was in the Carabao Cup or whatever,
yeah,
or
yeah.
when he played against Brentford because Raya couldn't play. I remember he was throwing it in the kicking it out wrong and just doing stupid shit. Because again, the pressure of like, fuck, I've got to play good. I haven't
So
played
when
in ages.
De Gea's first season, obviously when he was
Yeah,
smaller and what have you, and they got a period of
yeah,
time where Sir Alex was like, "I'm going to play Anders Lindegaard," not necessarily because he's a better goalkeeper than David De Gea, but just more like he's just not going to make any mistakes.
yeah. He's just
You
gonna
know
be
what I
steady
mean?
for a bit.
He's just going to be a bit steadier. He might come for some crosses. He's not going to get bullied off the ball. His shot stopping's not as good. He's not as good as a goalkeeper, but I just can.
This version of him.
I just need not mistakes at this
Yeah,
period of time,
yeah,
and that the psychological side, look, of a footballer in general, but particularly a goalkeeper, because I mean, look, I'd never played outfield, apart from when I was really young, so I can't really
yeah,
tell you. But as a keeper, there are some games or some days, yeah, where you genuinely feel like you go, I can save everything,
yeah,
everything
yeah.
today.
Like, give me your best shot.
I
Kind of
just
vibe.
literally, I can. You know what I mean? You'll pull up, you go, I have no idea. I wouldn't have saved that like 2 weeks ago. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'm getting it.
I just
I'm
think to
just
go
getting
in
it.
goal, you
And
just
it's
got
weird.
mad.
And it's a weird sensation of like genuinely like I am unbeatable. Like and maybe that is like a level of like arrogance, but I think you need it in goal. Like that kind of like bravado of like you said, go on, give me
Got
your
me
best
mad.
shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I was playing, you'd see like strikers, whatever, you talk shit to them during the game, being like, mate, you're not scoring against me. You know that. Or one on one, you tip it wide, you go, oh, next time, mate.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
yeah. You
You
start
got to.
giving it. Yeah,
You
yeah,
got to, or
yeah.
it's a
You do.
corner. It's corner. They sometimes striker sits on the goalkeeper, give him a bit of a shove. Be like, yeah, you're not fucking scoring.
Got to get in their heads, mate.
You got you got it, and it's all again. It's a lot of it's like is that kind of like bravado, maverick personality because
Yeah,
you play with your hands.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. Well, in these
So-
days, you play with your feet now. So
yeah,
you know what
exactly,
I mean. So
exactly.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think to round Onana up, like I said, I still got. I mean, I did say earlier on in the season, I just don't think he's good enough. Fair play to him. I think he's calmed down now and he's actually steadied the ship. And actually, if it wasn't for him in these early parts of the seasons, things could be a lot worse. Losing to Southampton, losing to Palace, let's just say off the top of our heads as two givens.
losing to
He did
Porto,
something
probably.
else. Porto, there you go. Yeah, he made some good saves in that as well. So yeah, I think you've got to give it. And Eric would probably be gone if he didn't do those two things.
Yeah.
So okay, so no, yeah, exactly.
Or
So
Fulham,
no,
whatever they're doing.
fair play. All right, cool. Kobbie Mainoo.
Do you know what's really weird with
Kobbie
Kobbie
Mainoo.
is apart from the Liverpool game, because obviously he made a mistake that game,
Yeah.
I can't recall many games coming out of it afterwards where we've been talking about him overly positively or maybe overly negatively. He's
Correct.
kind of
Now,
just
is
sort
that
of,
a good thing or is
I
it
don't
a
know.
bad thing?
I don't know because we do have these games. Maybe it's because it is so overshadowed by the poor results
shit.
we've had,
Yeah.
and we just don't really focus on it that much. But it's only obviously the Liverpool game because he was at fault for one of the goals. We got dispossessed, but a lot of the games, if you ask me, well, how did Kobbie Mainoo play today? I'll just go, well, a bit like everyone else.
Just a 6.
Not
just
great. Not
yeah.
great. Maybe
Well,
a bit under. Maybe a bit under that. You know, maybe like a 5. But so did everyone. You know,
I feel like because look, we were spoiled last year with the emergence of him, right? And what he did in like 6 months from October, probably to the summer, with everything he accomplished, with winning his first trophy, scoring in the final, getting in the England team, getting to the final of the Euros, scoring that infamous goal against Wolves, scoring that amazing goal against Liverpool. Like, you started to see little flashes, and we're like, oh my God, like, Jesus, what have we unearthed here? That's what I said. Yeah, FA Cup final. So it's like, shit, he is serious. And then I think it's a mixture of like the team not playing well, which, to be honest, it wasn't playing well last year as well. It wasn't. He just was a ray of sunshine. I think there's an element of like he is now sort of dragged into the shit as well because of how we play, how rubbish we've been, how easy it is to get through our midfield. So, but then there was a point, and it's not the greatest stat to have, but it's just, it's the truth. I think, in the first sort of 4 or 5 games, he had like the most regains. Like he was winning the ball back quite a lot. But I think his card is marked this year. And we always said that the second season of, what if you burst onto the scene is always the hardest. This is his first, we forget, this is Kobbie's first full season from August to May. And, his card is marked. The defenders, or other midfielders, or in other people's team talks now, they're saying, listen, don't give him time and space on the ball. When they might say, I tell you what, if we can break the press, he's not one to be covering loads of ground and getting back and getting you. So, we'll play on that. So I think he's been a sort of a victim of Man United's deficiencies. Secondly, showing he's human. Like, he's not just going to put the ball in the top corner every time, nutmeg players like he was like. We're not going to see that every single time. And maybe we needed that reality check as fans to say, this is why we have to be careful with our young talent. Really, really careful. Yes, we want to build a team around him. But as you can see, there's still a lot of work to be done with Kobbie. A lot.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of work to be done with him. I mean,
he's got the talent.
He's like 19. And I was just kind of thinking, like, in terms of people that had as big of a breakthrough season, if you will, as he has had. I mean, like, he missed the first sort of third quarter of last season with the injury. By the end of it, he's an instrumental part of Man United's team, and he's playing in the European Championship final for his country. It's insane. To be honest, it's kind of it's a bit similar, not exactly, but a bit like like Cole Palmer, kind of similar. I mean, just does not play him for City, gets this move to Chelsea. By the end of the season, he's scoring in the European Championship final. You're like, oh my God, like that's a lot. That's fast, isn't it? And now on both, and I can already hear the comments. Don't you dare compare Kobbie Mainoo to Cole Palmer. But now for both, in essence, there is this expectation of like, all right then, deliver, go on then. Like, you know what I mean? And to be fair, so like Palmer's the way he started the season.
He's doing it.
It's on. This Chelsea team's playing a lot better at the moment, and sometimes it's difficult. That was the impressive thing for both last season. Actually, when it comes to comparison, they were performing in underperforming sides as well, and doing the business. This season, it's more. I want to say it's slightly more difficult for Kobbie because our biggest problem area is our midfield. Tactically, so. If it's not working, it's not working. There is genuinely only so much he can do when it comes to it. So I do sympathise for him to an extent. And look, he's already of the profile that if he's not named in that starting 11, not for injury purposes, but I mean just like whatever, if rotation would be like, what? Kobbie's not playing. That's a lot.
But also it changes so quickly as well because. All of a sudden, you could go from coming out of this England camp, having a shit time at Man United because we're shit. Then all of a sudden, that little start in England place, because even now it's not nailed on. England got new ideas, new manager. Angel Gomez is inside, Gibbs White's in the side. Cole Palmer's starting to play more centrally now. That puts Jude back. So there's a lot where like you can all of a sudden you go, oh, Kobbie, he'd be in the squad, but he's not an automatic starter. But then if he keeps smashing it for Man United and keeps being on the front foot, and the talent's there, but you want the form to be there, and for it to be replicated across whatever level he plays at, and that to get that out of a player at Man United has been the conundrum for everyone.
I'm telling you, Flex, yeah, when it comes to England, this was the first England squad since like the mid-70s. Not have a Man United player in.
Yeah.
Greece beat us for the first time at Wembley.
You need us, mate. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Rice, 100%, mate.
You do the mathematics on that one. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
You need, as much as they can be criticised. Do you know what? Harry Maguire is one of the most interesting players, actually, when you think about it, because just when the general consensus is that he's shit, then he turns into actually maybe he's not as shit as we thought. It's happened like 2 or 3 times with him.
The truth is, you've got to keep Maguire where he is. He's not totally shit. Remember when he was doing that, when he was going through that period?
For a period of time, he was awful. He's stinker. Like 18
he's
months.
Better than this.
It was Onana-ish, wasn't it? Every time he played, he made a mistake leading to a goal.
His confidence.
Or someone conceded the goal, and even for England, even that time where like Southgate always picked him, even for England, I remember when we played, was it Scotland? I think it was in Scotland, and he came on. I think he got booed, not just by the Scottish fans, but English fans, and they were like, it's a disgrace and all that kind of stuff. And I think he made a mistake in that game and what have you. And it was like, man, he just needs to be out because he keeps making a mistake. But then just whenever you think with him that is who he is as a player, you go, yes, done. Then he does do a couple of good performances, and you go, well, maybe he's not terrible. Not that he should be starting Man United centre back or what have you. But for England, from an England point of view, you still have him in the squad because actually we're not completely blessed, and you do need to have some experienced heads at international level. And I don't know, it's for the second season in a row. And it was around this time last year where Eric suddenly went, I like Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans. I think, did they start against City in the derby at Old Trafford last season? I think they did. Yeah. That's when Varane was left on the bench.
We did lose 3-0, I don't remember.
Yeah, but my point being is there was a period of time last season when Eric started going, I like Evans and Maguire, and it's funny that it's happened again. And I don't know what message that says, whether that is, about the manager or whether that's
we're not talking about the manager.
But I said, or whether that's about, as much as you want to criticize their ability, and it's probably fair to say like Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans at this stage, 2024, shouldn't be starting players for Man United, but maybe that says a lot about exactly. Maybe that says a lot about their teammates that they're getting in. I mean.
But this is my thing when I say how good are our players.
Yeah, what's the Johnny Evans thing, isn't it?
Like Johnny Evans is showing that he's more competent and can do the basics well consistently and not get exposed on an island.
Dimitar Berbatov was spot on. I don't know if you heard what he said after that game when he was like, basically, those players should be ashamed of themselves. No disrespect to Johnny Evans, but Johnny Evans at 36 is getting man of the match. He deserved man of the match, but he shouldn't be getting it. He should not be outperforming you. And the reason he's outperforming you isn't necessarily because of ability. The reason he's outperforming you is just because he's kind of trying. He's just, it means something to him. When you heard that interview after the game, when he was like, look, I didn't think I was going to be here. It's a privilege to play for Manchester United. I never thought I'd be back, let alone playing as many times as I've played in the Premier League. And if I am asked to play or I'm put out there, I'm going to give it everything, And he is the real last bastions of like players that played in the Sir Alex sides that kind of gets it, that understands what it is to also play for Manchester United. And like I said, just do the basics, do simple.
That's the thing. It is, but passes. You know what? We can't underestimate this year. Like, bro, it is ability. It's scary to say it, but it is ability because it's the ability to assess the situation, not be caught in a bad position. You're up against Ollie Watkins. He's quick. I just saw Ollie Watkins get fucking Upamecano basically sent off. He should have.
I don't think ability in terms of like technical ability. I think
because he's tough. I think that's what I'm saying. But it's all. But actually, it's all. But basically, he's not. The others, okay, apart from like Lissandro, where we say like on the ball, like passing forward and like probably no one else can do that. They're not doing anything else Johnny Evans can't do. Like can pass with both feet. His short passing is fine to progress the ball into midfield and give it when he needs to give it. Remember, you're a centre half. Let's just strip it down. Not everyone needs to be between the lines, this, that, and the other. You know, you're strong at winning the headers. You can do that. You can defend on the left side or the right side. You can use both feet. You can nip in and be physical, and your upper body strength is good. So basically, you're doing what Lissandro can do but isn't doing right now. You're doing what Mateus de Ligt can do but isn't doing right now. You're proving that ability-wise, you can play at this level. Like going to Villa and playing some of the games he's played well in this league, it's still the Premier League, mate. Like, he's proven like this man can't get past him.
But that's when I go back to it, like a hangover being one of the last bastions of the Sir Alex era, in the sense of, you play for Man United, you're away from home, you know you're going to be on for pressure, under pressure. Just basically don't overcomplicate it. Like you said, you're a centre back. Strip it down. You know, win your duels, win your battles, stay in a position, keep your line, and when you are on the ball, if it's not on, it's not on. Then you just keep it really simple. That's it. And it's almost like with a lot of these this squad now, it's not necessarily a complete technical thing. You can maybe say some of them aren't technically good enough, but the ability to handle the pressure of being a Man United player, they cannot fundamentally do. You know, so when we're talking about adversity, when we're talking about away from home, under pressure, keep it simple, or make sure your pass reaches your man, that kind of that ability to the weight of the shirt, manage the weight of the shirt, they cannot do that. And it is actually quite staggering that the very few players that are left from that era, like a Johnny Evans, when they put the shirt on, it doesn't look heavy. Like he does not look uncomfortable playing at centre back in terms of being a Man United. Oh, I'm playing away, everyone's watching, blah, blah, blah. That he does not look uncomfortable. Whereas you've got these players that probably are at this stage faster, quicker, better than him, but the shirt looks really heavy and weighs them down. And that does speak volumes, I think.
It does. It does. And just really quickly, lastly, I mean, I know we've touched on it ever so slightly with the Xerxes and Højlund thing and just the front line. But are they...
Who do you think starts up front against Brentford?
I think you go Rasmus. I think Ollie. I think Ten Hag prefers Rasmus. I think that's who he wants to be the main striker. And I think
go Højlund. I think he'd go Højlund as well.
Yeah. I think he'd go Rasmus. I think the stocks are more into Rasmus, and more Xerxes can fill in or give us something different during games. And obviously, there's loads of games. So, you know, Carabao Cup or, you know, Europa League, you can absolutely start FA Cup, whatever. But I think for the league, bread and butter, he would prefer it to be. And obviously, Højlund, with what he showed us, is a better goal scorer.
That's what I was going to. I think we
ain't got no goals.
I think there'd be a desire of, like, you know, a bit like with Rashford, where you're saying, well, if you can get him going, he's probably going to get you more goals. So you've got to try and get him going. And I think that would probably be the thought process with Højlund of, like, if we can get him going, we have seen that he can go on a run. Whereas maybe with Xerxes, that's just not going to be him. He's
never been that guy.
It's not going to be him. So it's almost imperative. Like at the time we were saying, we don't know where the goal is going to come from. You want to try and get him up and running. Even if you just don't believe Højlund's, you know, ceiling's going to be that high or whatever. At this point, you begin, if we can just kind of replicate that kind of burst of goals he had last season, we take it.
It's a start.
We take it at the moment, you know, because that's the currency. So I agree. I think it'll be Højlund probably starts.
Yeah, we shall see. Guys, episode 34 of the Trinity podcast. We made sure we did not discuss Erik ten Hag because we didn't want to piss you lot off. So, and decided to talk about everything else. But
it'll be interesting because there's still, again, the reaction to it will be stop talking about Erik ten Hag, even though we haven't.
Exactly. Honestly, there you go. Smash the like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you on episode 35 of the Trinity podcast.
We'll be back to full strength, hopefully, by that point, won't we? You know, look, last 2 weeks, you've been in Portugal. Cage's been in Riyadh, my jet-setting friends, but we will be reunited this time next week.
100. Take care, guys. We're out of here. Peace.